Ladies and gentlemen, it's been almost 1,000 years since I last uploaded a video, and many things have happened in that time. Max Verstappen almost got himself thrown in jail. George Russell tried to fuck an avocado. It's been a long summer break, but now it's over. So let's get back to whatever the fuck this is. Toto Wolff spent the last 4 weeks parading around in a mankini, or as he likes to call it, the pumpernickel smuggler. But when he's not traumatizing families at the beach, he is crippling himself. This is an actual picture of Toto taken during the summer break, and as you can see, crippled. What happened? Well, according to his wife, Susie, the pumpernickel smuggler fractured his elbow in a bicycle accident.
I hurt myself today to see if I still feel.
R.I.P Toto, and shout out to his pumpernickel. Now let's take a look at what everybody else has been doing during the summer break. Max Verstappen, after getting bored of playing the regular campaign missions, has now started completing side quests. He spent the day with a man called Mad Mike, who has an earring and is a Formula D champion. Guess what the D stands for? Disgusting! Mad Mike was teaching Verstappen how to drift in a Mazda RX-7 that shoots fire out of its arse. And after about 3 seconds, Verstappen had mastered it and is now the new Formula D champion. Disgusting! And if you scroll through the comment section of the video, people seem to be surprised with how quickly he picked it up. This man is genuinely a racing genius. He adapts so quickly, what the heck. He's such a quick learner. Max's learning curve is exceptional. Max really is the GOAT. It's absolutely insane how quickly he picks it up. Almost shocking how fast he learns and adapts his skill set. Is it shocking? Remember, this is the guy who has a sim racing rig in his apartment where he spends every second of every day, even when his family is begging for attention.
Whoopee! Hello, wait, no, don't do this! No! Let's go!
Everyone is getting to a similar level of damage.
Yes, ignore the child. Focus on what's important. Driving a virtual racing car. And before people chime in with the whole, that's not how you're supposed to treat your own kid. It's not his kid. Remember, it's Danny Kvyat's kid. Because before Verstappen started pumping Kelly and Danny had a kid. And now that kid wanders around Max Verstappen's apartment while he's on the sim. I'm sure that kid's going to be absolutely fine and not grow up to be a serial killer and commit terrible crimes, which will be revealed decades later in a Netflix documentary. Let's get back to the summer break. Lance Stroll uploaded this picture of himself dressed as an autistic cocaine dealer and another picture of him eating an ice cream. I swear to God, he is losing brain cells by the minute. Charles Leclerc posted a video of himself playing the piano and said, "New song releasing tonight at midnight on all platforms." That's right, Charles Leclerc is a pianist, which makes perfect sense because, as we all know, the greatest musicians are tortured artists. Chester Bennington, Amy Winehouse, Chris Cornell, Lane Staley. But instead of alcohol, drugs, or mental illness, Charles Leclerc has had his soul ripped apart by something even more powerful: Italian incompetence. And you can hear it in the music. His song is called Mon 23. It's a beautiful piece, and if you listen carefully, you really can hear that influence of what it's like to be a Ferrari driver. I'm sure he's going to be fine and not turn out to be a serial killer and commit terrible crimes, which will be revealed decades later in a Netflix documentary. There's a lot of people that could turn out to be serial killers, myself included. What, you think I'm not going off the rails? What's my documentary going to be called? RPM, Rapist, Paedophile, Murderer. What's next? Lewis Hamilton went swimming in the ocean and uploaded this picture to Instagram. Now, normally, this wouldn't be content worthy because who gives a fuck? Wow, he can swim. But I gotta say, scrolling through the comment section on Lewis Hamilton's Instagram is like sticking your head through the window of an insane asylum. Right, there's so much going on here. First of all, we've got the usual nice pick, Lewis, don't drown, 8th is waiting for you, beautiful picture, fire emoji, I can cook, clean and swallow. That's not ridiculous. Then we've got the people who are just cringe. And buckle up. Morning, my sunshine, my rise and shine, my powerful boy, my goat, love of my life, may you have a day as blessed, beautiful, special, blah, blah, blah. Somebody replied with, what the hell is wrong with you? And there's quite a lot of these. Wow, oh my god, I'm very weak for too much perfection, blah, blah. You are the best thing that happened to me in life. Thank my god, love you a billion times infinity. You can't multiply by infinity, because it's what's known as a numberless number, you fucking idiot. Mathematical burn. And then there's just loads of people begging for help. Hi Lewis, my name is Adenilson. I live in Brazil. I'm going through serious financial difficulties. I'm Hamza from Turkey. I need $3 million very urgently. Blah, blah, blah. My account number is below. And then he put his actual account number. Fucking believable. I asked for help from you a few days ago. There are orphans for 3 days without food, and the person who takes care of them is desperate and almost giving up staying with the children, and you haven't done anything for them. Yeah, Lewis, why don't you care about the orphans? This twat wanted 750 grand for an animal sanctuary. This dickhead was banging on about dog sled racing and used a term I've never heard before, human supremacist. This freak was offering Lewis a palm reading. Reply once you get this message with a picture of your right hand palm, my dear, if you want to know the message I have for you. Let me guess what the message is. Send me $50,000. And if all of that wasn't enough insanity, then a few of his fans had a problem with the hand gesture he was making in the picture, because apparently this hand gesture is a satanic symbol. How do you expect to win again when you're doing satanic symbolism? So disappointing. I'm pissed off at him. He's clearly promoting the devil's agenda. First the rainbow flag, now he's throwing up that symbol. I think God is punishing him. God is love, but Lewis' sign is from Satan. That hand symbol is a well-known satanic symbol. Hamilton should know better. He has the whole sport against. The last thing he needs is God not to give him blessings. I can barely read these fucking idiots. Lewis Hamilton is full of sin, full of himself, and completely full of crap. He tries to make himself look better than he is. He's tied to Satan. What dimension are these people in? And to be clear, these are his own fans, accusing him of being a Satanist and that he doesn't care about orphans, and then trying to guilt trip him into sending them $3 million. But maybe they've got a point, you know? Maybe Lewis Hamilton is a satanic orphan killer whose crimes will be revealed decades later in a Netflix documentary. There's a lot of documentaries getting made. Right, before I move on to something based in reality, I have to cover the last Team LH mental breakdown, which happened at the Belgian Grand Prix. Now, I have already talked about this in the podcast a couple of weeks ago, but now I have to explain it to the Commonwealth pigs. So basically, here's what happened. At the Belgian Grand Prix, Lewis Hamilton and Sergio Perez had a ding-dong. The FIA gave Lewis Hamilton a 5-second penalty, and Team LH accused the FIA of being racist, as per. However, this time they brought evidence to the stand, and this evidence consisted of a 12-second clip from a podcast 7 years ago. It was the official BBC podcast, Checkered Flag, and the guest was a man called Derek Warwick. Now, Derek was one of the stewards at the Belgian Grand Prix where Lewis Hamilton got the 5-second penalty. And on the podcast 7 years ago, Derek called Max Verstappen the next great white hope. When I heard this clip for the first time, I did have a small out-of-body experience. So, to be clear, Derek Warwick, who is a Formula One FIA steward, was on the BBC's F1 podcast 7 years ago, and he said this.
I think he feels pretty special. I think the Verstappen thing is probably upsetting his mind a little bit because, you know, he's the great white hope at the moment.
Wow. The great white hope. Derek Warwick is a white supremacist! Call the police. So, as far as Team LH were concerned, this clip from a 7-year-old podcast was enough evidence to have Derek Warwick publicly executed. But they went further, because then Team LH discovered that Derek Warwick is the owner of a Honda dealership. And obviously, Honda used to supply engines to Red Bull. So, when I discovered this for the first time, I had another out-of-body experience. But Derek Warwick legitimately owns a Honda dealership, and who did Honda used to supply engines for? That's right, Red Bull Racing. If Derek Warwick is not in handcuffs by the time this broadcast goes live, I swear to Christ, I'm going to burn down Paul DeResta's house. I won't stand for this. Black Lives Matter. Okay, my neighbours are definitely on the phone to the police. I am calm now, but I stand by what I said. Derek Warwick is clearly a white supremacist and should be thrown in jail. Can I just say something serious, please, for a moment? You realise a couple of weeks ago that the US government basically admitted that they have alien spacecraft. Not some crazy tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. Actual UFOs. And inside the UFOs, they found non-human biological material, otherwise known as aliens. And when they revealed all of this a couple of weeks ago, nobody cared. Why? Because we're all screaming about shit that doesn't matter. The FIA is a white supremacist organisation. The Barbie movie is feminist propaganda. Disney hired normal-sized people to play the dwarves in Snow White. The aliens have landed, and they've come here to take Paul DeResta back to the mothership. Does that not require some attention? Why does nobody care? No, obviously nobody cares that we are about to be invaded by actual aliens because everybody's screaming about a 5-second penalty and whether or not it was racially motivated. You people make me sick. What was the point? Formula One is back after the summer break, and that means we are now halfway through the 2023 season. There have been 12 races so far this year, and Red Bull have won every single one, including the last 8 races in a row for Max Verstappen, because he's got his priorities straight. So now, with both championships basically over, the fight is for second place in the championship. Aston Martin started the season strong, with Fernando Alonso twatting both Mercedes in Bahrain, scoring a podium every single race, and even fighting Max Verstappen for pole position at the Monaco Grand Prix. But now they've faded away. Other teams have caught up, and even with Sigma Alonso's performance at the start of the year, that wasn't enough to offset the window licker disadvantage. So now it's McLaren with the second fastest car on the grid, but they are still way off in the championship because of their shit start to the season. Ferrari, just like every season for the past 15 years, their main championship rival is themselves. And Mercedes, after basically 18 months of hell, have finally started clawing it back. They ditched their fancy side pod design a few races ago, caught up to Aston Martin, and are now comfortably second in the championship. And I gotta say, and don't hold this against me, but I am secretly rooting for the regime. We need Mercedes back up at the top to stop Max Verstappen winning every single race for the rest of time. And also, I feel like they've been humbled. Like, remember how unbearable they were after 2021. They turned up in Bahrain with the W13, and I remember Osama bin Russell in Drive to Survive was like, our car looks so fast. Does it? Does it, George? Because then what happened?
When I saw our car, I saw everybody else's car, I thought, fuck, this looks fast.
I hurt myself today to see if I still feel.
Didn't work out, did it? And then there was the pumpernickel smuggler. Remember how angry he was after Michael Massey's great adventure? No! He goes on Drive to Survive pretending to be a Bond villain. Everybody's got a target on their back next year.
So Red Bull have a target on their backs next year.
Everybody has a target on their backs next year.
Oh, shiver my timbers! Shut up, man!
But after 18 months of hell, they have started clawing it back. Lewis Hamilton got pole position in Hungary before Verstappen twatted it down the inside and won the race. by 33 seconds. Somebody do something to stop this man, or I swear to God, I am going to burn down Paul di Resta's house. So Formula 1 returns this week for the Dutch Grand Prix. Toto Wolff has been banned from every beach in Austria. Charles Leclerc is considering taking a bath with a toaster. Team LH genuinely believe Lewis Hamilton is a satanic orphan killer. And the aliens have landed, but nobody cares because Derek Warwick owns a Honda dealership. You people make me sick.
Shut up!